I've made over 3 million pesos before I turned 22 this year. And I didn't come from money, I didn't use connections. But what I had was a unique attitude, a different outlook on how I do things. And they helped me to get where I am. And by no means is that the most impressive feat you'll find out there. But it got me from a place of struggle to a place of comfort. And if this can help anyone out there, if you're in a similar position, I hope this video can help you. I'm Lesman, and I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this first episode of Couch Conversations. So it all started when I was 18, fresh out of senior high. So I went to DLSU thanks to a scholarship. And I was preparing for college, but I realized that I'm gonna need a stable source of funds if I want to do that. I really couldn't. There's no one else in my family I could rely on at that moment. So I figured I'll take things into my own hands. I asked some of my friends how or what I can do in my position. I'm a young kid, right? But luckily for me, I had a few friends who were already in the tech industry. And I'm a software engineer. So I'm glad that I chose this industry. But at that time, I wasn't any good yet at all. I knew I couldn't provide any value for any company that I joined. So I knew that I'd had to get started by upskilling. And lucky for me, there was this data science bootcamp. They're called Escolabs. And they help you go from beginner to good enough. Like really good if you are take it very seriously in a matter of 3 months. Whereas if I was to wait for my whole degree, it would take me 4 years, right? So thanks to them, you can go from a beginner to landing a job. But of course, it's not free. There's a cost. It's like 60K at that time. And I had no way to shell out that money. I had no capital. I had no savings. I'm a student again. I was stuck on surviving. But they offered scholarships. So me, I'm already a scholar at that time for school. So I thought, you know what, might as well. I'm gonna apply here. I'm a student. I'm gonna I'm fairly good at that time. Not good enough. Again, good enough for a student. I'm good with numbers. I'm good with a little bit of code. And after a grueling process, I mean, no, it's not bad. If you want to join Let's Collabs, go ahead and apply for the scholarship. But it was grueling for me because I was applying for a position for a scholarship that I had no idea if this was the right choice. Because when I took a look at it, I figured that it's not usual for students to do this. But due to sheer desperation, I guess, I committed. And I'm fortunate that I got in. Because if not, I wouldn't have known what to do with my life. So that's sort of my critical point. That's my inflection point in my career after I got into Escolabs. And then when I'm in there, it was an amazing process. But when you're the youngest in the room and you're learning super complicated stuff with someone with a degree or someone who holds a masteral or a PhD, someone with almost a decade of experience, the imposter syndrome is gonna eat you up. And trust me, it did for me. Every day I was like, wait, do I understand what's going on? Why is this so hard? Am I just, bad? But I took it as sort of a challenge, I guess, that, okay, I am the youngest in the room, but I am in this room. I proved myself worthy already. Why I shouldn't let my thoughts get to me. And thanks to the support that the community provides as well, I was able to let go of that gnawing feeling of imposter syndrome. And I'd say my learning was amazing. It was a great experience afterwards. And I had a massive takeaway from this, which is to take opportunities. Because had I not asked my friends, had I not looked around the internet, had I not applied, committed the application process, I wouldn't have made it in. And I wouldn't be where I am right now. And it started because of that. So I guess what I'm trying to say for you specifically, is if there's something you want to do right now and you're hesitant, you don't know if you want to do it, or if you are sure that you want to do it, but you just don't know how, I would implore you to just think about it logically, critically thinking. If you had at that time, I had to upskill and survive. I did everything I could. I asked all my friends and such. I went through that. You have to do the same thing where you make the opportunity. I made the opportunity by reaching out and preparing myself when the opportunity actually comes. Before the actual interviews, I remember I spent like a week not doing anything, just learning how to do the things that they were going to interview me about. It was very technical, a lot of code, a lot of numbers, and I studied them all good enough, I guess. And that's my version of making the opportunity. Taking it is what I just talked about, fighting the imposter syndrome, making myself accept that I deserve to be in that room. And then when I was finally in that room, I made the most of the opportunity by talking to as many people as I can, learning from them, because I believe in this idea that the best teacher for growth is experience, but the next best one is someone experienced. Let me say that again. The best teacher is experience. The next best one is someone with experience. They had so many years ahead of me in terms of college, in terms of their experiences, whatever industry they're in. And I asked them all the questions that I wouldn't find anywhere else. And I was able to absorb their answers. It gave me so many ideas. It gave me so much insight on what the career looks like, what my career could look like, what the industry looks like. And I became prepared because of it. So think about it now. If you're with people that you know are better than you, take it as let's say, as motivation. Take it as a positive thing that you're surrounded with so many smart people. That's a blessing. Make the most out of it. And if you're someone who you think now we chat a lot and you notice me now that I'm telling people to ask questions, you remember that I ask questions. I do this all the time. And it's gonna click. Everyone who has been great has been mentored. And if you don't have one already, look for a mentor. If you don't know where to look, we can hit me up. We can discuss. I'll probably make it the next video. But if you already have one that you have in mind, just reach out. They will most likely appreciate that you're asking them, as long as you ask the right questions as well. So that's also a discussion for a separate day. But going back, these opportunities we make and take them, and when we're there, make the most out of it. After my bootcamp with Escolabs, I got hired by Angkas, the motorcycle company, for their data team. And I got in through a referral of a friend who was also like me, a very young guy. He was a bit younger than me actually. And the CTO just liked, I think this is my hypothesis, the CTO just liked hiring young talent because he started when he was that young. And at that time, when I joined the rest of the team, I was not taken very, very seriously because, you're very young. People thought of me as an intern, actually. But I showed them that I can actually do things. Whenever they're going to be like, oh, is this task good with you? Just let me know if you need help. We can set up meetings. And then I told them I can do that really easily. And maybe there's the next step that I can take to make the output more valuable, more in depth to them. Because again, they were thinking of me as an intern. But after a few iterations of that, after showing that, okay, I am capable when they give me something hard, I can do it really well still. And at this moment, I copied the strategy that I had for Escolabs. Everyone here was so much smarter than me. Some were like twice my age. My age was their total number of years in the industry. They were that good. And again, I bugged them with all the questions that I had. I was yapping nonstop. Whenever I could, of course. I wouldn't want to bother them. Lucky for me also, I was in three different departments, kind of. So I was in the product department, tech department, and data team. So I could tap if I wanted to learn more about the technicals of data, my team. If I wanted to know more about tech, which is where I am now, I could just hit up the tech team and ask them the questions. And for product team as well. So they're kind of different. We can talk about it in a separate video as well about tech, product, and the different departments. I was very fortunate to be in that spot where I was exposed to so much. I at that Imagine being 19, so I was 19 at the time, and then it clicks in to you how a company runs, how a tech company runs. Well, yeah, I'd say Angkas is a tech company, but that's besides the point. That information, all of that exposure, all of that observation, all of those conversations with the different people who were leading their stuff, who were doing something really amazing at the company, all of those helped me realize what the bigger picture in the whole industry looks like. Not just what I knew from Escolabs, because I was limited at that time because it was not as extensive as a hands-on real job. And then after making the most out of Angkas, especially thanks to my mentors at that time, one of them was my lead for my team. One of them was our C-suite executive, but still very hands-on with our team. After getting to learn so much from them, I was given an opportunity that I wanted to take. And let's talk about it. When I was halfway through Angkas, I was exploring outside of Angkas, just trying to be familiar with the whole tech space. I was networking with people, joining events, and then I got into this community. I joined their big event. It's an annual event because I saw 50% off discount. And I was like, hey, you know what? This should be good for my career. And boy, was it one of the best. It was a three nights, 2 days event. There was a VIP dinner the first night. And one of my friends I was going with was a volunteer. And he mentioned to me that the volunteers needed a bit more help with technicals. And I was not technical yet. I was data, but I could do it. I wanted to learn it. So what I did, this is still a very funny story to me. I tell this every time somebody asks. I go to at that night during the event. I went up to the overall lead of the event. He was the head. I told him, "Hey, my friend who's a volunteer, I think you know him. He mentioned that you guys need some help in technicals. I'm a technical. I think I can help out." We chatted for a bit. We took a picture. Then the following that night, I think the following morning because it was late, I sent him a message. He said, "Hey, thanks for congrats on the event. It was amazing." He told me that there are the next legs to the event, and he invited me to be a speaker, and I would have to fly to the event. He'd take care of my accommodation, but I was in shock because I just joined the event for fun. Somehow, I made the opportunity and I took it after the invitation because 1 month later, I'm now part of the team and I was giving a talk about something that I also wasn't an expert yet. But in that month, I grinded it, I learned it again. You see, it's a pattern. Whenever I have to do something, I just grind it out. But after that, what came next was thanks to the opportunity that that event gave me, it I became a lead for the community. I organized events. In one of those events, someone I knew was looking for a team. He was building a team. And then he mentioned to me that, "Hey, I think you'd be a fit." And I didn't even think twice. I was like, "Oh, tell me more." Sure, I'll join. I kid you not. That was not the version 3 of me making opportunities. And I took it. Was I ready for it? Definitely not. What did I prepare? Enough. Yeah, I was working hard up until that point, of course. When I was there, how good was I at it? Good enough. And that's still where I am right now. So this is the last step of my career, of my journey so far, of course. This one has been the biggest one. Okay, I know I keep on saying biggest breakthroughs, but it's a jump. It's a massive jump, massive jump, massive jump. So of course, like each one of them is very significant. But this last step, this is after I learned a lot during the Escolab stuff and then the Angkas stuff. The learning I got from them compounded. I was able to learn faster because of what I learned from there. And my growth curve is like, I think my camera is mirrored. So, like that, instead of linear. Because whatever I learn here, I apply to learn faster and apply to learn faster and so on and so forth. And in this last job that I have, I started out as just a developer. Like that's what I applied for. They hired me to be a developer. But that's when my soft skills came into play. I realized I'm pretty good at, I hope so, but I realized I'm pretty good at talking. I'm pretty good at communicating with stakeholders, with the leads, with the rest of the team as a technical. Because, I tend to be very technical. I would go so deep into the topic, but I was able to parse the information nicely for non-technicals. And thanks to that, I kind of just became a lead of the project. From just a guy out here who can kind of do stuff, I went from that who can kind of do stuff into a full-blown lead. And I've been a lead for over a year now. I think year and a half. And it's another compounding learning experience. Da, 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 da. I still think it's kind of crazy that these guys trusted a project into someone who had like a year and a half of experience, who still didn't have a degree, mind you. So the timeline is 18 data science bootcamp, 19 angkas. I joined them 20. I was leading a project at 20. I was the youngest in the room again. But when you get into put into positions like that, I realized that I'd rather do everything than fail. I will go way, 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 way out of my way to get the job done. And that's when I realized, okay, I think I understand it now. You understand that you will be put into positions where you don't have a choice, but to get the job done. I know I said this earlier, you don't have a choice but to just do it. because I had to survive. But now it's not just for the sake of survival, it's for the sake of excellence. If didn't have that mindset that, oh, I'm gonna get the job done no matter what, my career would not have grown as much as it did now. I would be stuck in the same spot as I did before. I'd probably maybe stay in university, and I would not have grown so much. Because I'm very sure whatever I did, whatever I learned, I don't think I would have learned this in university. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but for my personality type, for the things that I want to do, I figured that the real world, again, experience is the best teacher. Someone with experience is the second best. I was the one interfacing with experience. That's why this growth was possible. So to wrap it all up, what got me here, and I'll say this again, is to make and take opportunities. I know we went on a lot of tangents, and sorry, forgive me, because I really like winging it, especially for videos like these. I tried this my fourth attempt at shooting a video, and I'm just saying that out of full transparency because I can't preach making and taking opportunities if I don't do it myself. I don't want to chase perfection, and I'm happy to expose flaws like these because it can show that I'm showing you that you don't really need to wait for that moment for you to do it. I'm not going to redo this one more time. No, I'm done. Sorry. I shot too many times already. But besides the point, I know that I tried my best in those attempts and I've gathered everything that I learned from those experiences. And here I am now. So, any more delay to this would just beat the message that I'm trying to send. I'd rather do this, have a bunch of flaws or whatever, rather than fake my perfection, fake what I'm trying to say, but no, it's not. Who knows? Because maybe this opportunity might not exist in the future, right? And this is my version of making the opportunity by setting up my camera here and setting up my audio system here. That's me making it. And who knows, down the line, I hope there comes an opportunity for me to take. So that was a lot, and it was a just a ramble session. But I hope you had a lot of takeaways from this. I hope that if you were in a place of confusion, this might have provided some clarity to you. And if you have any more questions, if you'd like to chat, just feel free to message me on any of the platforms that I am on. You can just look up my name, Lasman Andres Lenin Saluta. Could be either. It's my personal and professional account, but go ahead. So many people that I got to talk to during events or networking mentioned that this is it's always a heartwarming, good experience to chat with me. And I hope this attempt at replicating that for the whole public to happen works. I hope that works. So yeah, leave a comment, drop a like and a subscribe. I don't know how this YouTube thing works. Again, I just want to be true to you and to me. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Couch Conversations.